1.20, Unit 4A.
It's difficult to imagine what life must have been like before the invention of certain things. If you're in your teens or 20s, you might never have wondered how people searched for information before the internet existed. The electric light is another thing that we all take for granted. But how do such inventions come about? Is it necessity that drives innovation, or commercial profit, or something else? Here to discuss these questions is business historian Martha Kay. Martha, there are a lot of things around us that we clearly could live without, so the necessity argument is not the whole answer, is it?
Hello, Evan. No, of course it isn't. History is littered with inventions that people thought they didn't need at the time. In 1878, a British parliamentary committee, which had to comment on the usefulness of Alexander Graham Bell's telephone, said, "It is good enough for our transatlantic friends, but unworthy of the attention of practical men."
Yes, well, perhaps they should have been more open-minded. But in 1878, people didn't need to have phones, did they? You could conduct your daily business and daily life perfectly well without one. But now it's become a necessity. A need has been created, if you like.
Well, people in the 19th century needed a way to communicate at a distance more effectively. They just hadn't envisaged the telephone. Of course, there are some inventions which fill an urgent need. Vaccines against particular diseases come to mind. But most innovations aren't like that. Entrepreneurs have often come up with ideas to make our lives a little more convenient or comfortable. And then over time we come to rely on them. Television is a case in point. Remote shopping, that's to say mail order or these days internet shopping, is another. It was dismissed by Time magazine in the 1960s because they said women like to get out of the house and like to be able to change their minds.
I'm sure they did. Like to get out of the house, that is. That certainly was a different era.
Another form of innovation is to take something that's at first expensive to produce and therefore exclusive to rich people and make it available to many. There are quite a few things that we now see as everyday necessities that have come to us in this way, where an entrepreneur has found a way to produce something more cheaply, like the mobile phone or the computer. Another example, in the 1890s, the motor car was thought to be a luxury for the wealthy. Literary Digest predicted that it would never, of course, come into common use.
I see, so in that sense, what it comes down to is wants rather than needs. But what about all those things that we don't really need? How do you explain those?